Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is video number 2 from episode 48 of the Wrestling Rundown. This is where we go to the middle of the week, which is really only like 36 hours. Something like that. I don't even know when main event's on anyway.
Yeah.
But it comes up on Hulu on a Wednesday, which is the same day that we have NXT and Lucha Underground. So this right here, this is the midweek wrap-up. And we're not going to start with King of the Ring this week, like we did last week, that threw you the fuck off.
What did this do to me?
I told you we're going to start with main event.
So
we opened up with Divas Tag Team action. We had Naomi and Tamina
taking on Natalia and Lisa Fox.
Your turn.
That was my turn.
Talk about the match.
Alright, so this was actually a really good match.
It was. This is a good main event.
Overall, I was very pleased with the main event this week. Yeah, a lot of good wrestling. Started out with Natalia in the ring, fighting around with Naomi, tags into Alicia. They give her that nasty wishbone where her feet hit the mat.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. It made my groin area burn, and not in a good way.
Burn, baby, burn. Which is funny because she's a woman.
Sure.
Babies come out of that area.
Oh, I get it. Gross.
Keep going.
Natalia comes back in. She gets worked over for a good portion of the match. Alicia Fox gets the hot tag. And then Naomi is going to fight her. And then Tamina and Natalia get in the ring. They stumble out of the ring in their various fashions. And then while Naomi is distracting the referee, Tamina gets in a super kick from outside to the inside, hitting Alicia in the jaw, neck region.
Yeah.
And very unsuspiciously to the way the referee should have looked at it is that Naomi was able to just pin Alicia Fox off of choking her on the rope.
Yeah. It was devastating the way she was distracting the referee.
Yeah. But yeah, so the female version of the APA get the victory.
Next match, we had a really short match. Primetime players making fun of the Matadors.
Yeah.
We had Titus O'Neil dressed up in a goofy rendition of
a Pirate Ninja Turtle.
Yes. Which looked kind of like the Matadors. He brings up
his
El Diongo. And
his mask had WTH on it.
And yeah, Darren Young is dressed up as El Torito, doing the whole little...
Oh, come on, you do it better than that.
Not while I'm sitting down.
Fair enough.
That's a standing up thing. That's a special video.
Episode 99.
This match didn't go on for very long. Matadors had control for a little while. Eventually it got turned around. And Titus is taking on both of the Matadors at one point. Ends up tossing Fernando back into the ring after clotheslining him out of the ring. Or, no, pulling him out of the ring.
He clotheslined the other one.
Yeah, clotheslined one, dragged the other one out, grabbed him, tossed him back in. Darren Young hits gut check, and the Primetime Players pick up a win over a team that isn't the Ascension.
Yeah, so Darren Young beat the Matadors in a handicap match due to outside interference from the Pirate Ninja Turtle.
Horse. Fuckface. Made of the Strongs.
Made up of the strength.
Then we had the first tag team match of the Wyatt family reunited.
Just called them the Weirdos with the Beardos.
They took on the Usos. Zack Ryder.
Usoskis.
Zack Ryder and Jimmy Uso. Zack Ryder and Jimmy Uso actually pretty well rounded as a tag team.
Yeah, they melded fairly good.
Didn't help them though.
No.
Zack, being Zack Ryder, unfortunately gets the big boot and then into the full Nelson Slam, and Eric Rowan picks up a win over Zack Ryder. It's nice to see Jimmy getting back on the tag team action though. And then we finished the night off with Dolph Ziggler taking on Stardust. This was a fast-paced, really awesome match.
Yeah, I like that they started out slow with a lot of actual wrestling.
Yeah, very very technical to start it out.
You know, Ziggler got 2 cradles on Stardust, got near falls, before, like, the pro wrestling style really kicked in.
Yeah. And then both of them, you know, go for their usual sticks. You know, a lot of, you know, moves you'd expect from the two, still keeping the action going. Stardust sets up Ziggler for Crossroads, and, you know...
Also, randomly just taking his glove off and whapping him with it.
Yeah, challenging Dolph Ziggler to a duel in the middle of the match.
A sleepy duel.
But yeah, Stardust sets up for the Crossroads, takes a little too long to really get it going. Ziggler's able to reverse, hit the zigzag, and pick up the win over Stardust.
Very sudden fashion.
Yes.
The first time I watched it, I actually missed it. Because I looked away. I didn't. But I looked away to say something, and then I looked back, and it was over.
Oh.
He was pinning him.
That's how fast it was. Then we move on to Lucha Underground. We open up, Dario's talking to his brother, who's the guy in the cell inside of the temple somewhere.
Somewhere hidden in the bowels of the temple.
And he's talking about the 7 Aztec medallions that legend says that, you know, when someone gets these medallions, it makes them become immortal. And he's going to implement them into the temple later on tonight. Says that they can make someone stronger, maybe even stronger than his brother, who we obviously assume is an extremely strong person because he's locked inside of a cell and isn't allowed to touch anything.
Yeah, I'm a little worried by this.
What's that?
Because we're starting to see a couple little inconsistencies here and there with Lucha Underground. With some of the things they're doing. Now this coming in, these medallions with certain powers or whatever.
I don't think...
I'm really hoping this doesn't go into a really cartoony...
I don't think it will. I think they're going very much by tradition, because the original Lucha Underground Championship was made from the gold of the Aztec tribes.
Yeah.
So I think it's just very all based in tradition, not necessarily like, oh, this is, you know, this coin here is going to make you immortal and you'll never die, and stuff. I don't think they're gonna get that cartoon. I'm hoping they're not gonna get. Stop putting doubt in my mind.
This is the first thing they've really done that they really put out there that's worried me. So.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
But
we opened up with the debut of Jack Evans taking on Aerostar, and these two...
The champion of Flippies versus the loudmouth American Lucha.
Holy fuck! They flipped all over the place. It was insanity from beginning to end.
Needless to say, there were a lot of flips going on.
I mean, I thought for sure Jack Evans was going to take the win in his first match, but he didn't, because he got caught in the Star Destroyer.
Top rope Canadian Destroyer. Take that. I'm pretty sure I saw his vertebrae sticking out the front of his neck.
No shit. God, yeah. Aerostar picks up the win over Jack Evans. That was insane. If you haven't seen that, you need to go back and watch it. Cause
he definitely got some really good heat.
Yes. Yeah, Jack Evans is really good at being a loudmouth, you know, really taking that heel status, and it works really good
at being American.
Yeah. That's an unfortunately good way to put it. Then we get Big Rick is counting money at his locker.
And Willie Mack's like, let me get some.
It's like, hey, we're cousins, man. You know, you can give me that money. He goes, no. See, that's the thing is, you want to go out there, you want to do all your fun moves, you want to get some fans. But I'm all about making the money while I can. And if someone paid me enough, I'd even kick the ass of one of my own family members if it was the right price. And Mac's like, oh, well, shit.
He's like, why you gotta go all Virgil on me?
Speaking of Mac, he would be in our next match, a 7-way match.
A 7 lucha match.
We have Phoenix, the Mac, Sexy Star, Pentagon Jr., Killshot, King Cuerno, and Cage, all in this match. This is where we implement the Aztec medallions. Dario says the winner of this will get the first medallion, and it will. it's another one of his unique opportunities. I'm guessing it's gonna lead to something where maybe we get multiple of these matches. Then we get like the 7 winners in a match or something.
I'd be kind of okay with that, but still worried.
We'll have to wait and see. Phoenix ends up picking up the win. There's just all kinds of craziness in this.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, God. Phoenix diving through, getting caught in the stalling suplex by Cage, and then kill shot hitting the crossbody onto
Over
him.
the ropes, yeah. That was
Oh, man. Sexy Star was taking on Cuerno and Cage by herself.
Cage ain't selling no kicks for nobody.
It was all out insanity. Phoenix ends up picking up the win, hitting the reverse Rana on Pentagon Jr.
After playing bongos on his head.
That was hilarious. And he picks up the win and gets the first Aztec medallion.
Also, I'm feeling like we're going to see Cage and Cuerno versus the back and kill shot next week.
Ooh.
Because they spent the last few minutes of the match just brawling.
Yeah, it was just a big brawl on the outside. You're very right. We get Dario letting us know that next week Team Dysfunction, Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and Angelico will be defending their Trios Championships in a ladder match against the Crew.
Yes. And definitely pointing out the fact that it's favoring the Crew because Ivelisse has the broken leg.
Yeah, so she can't climb the ladder.
Her ankle is still jacked up. So... yeah, it's going to be tough for her and Son of Havoc and Angelico to win a ladder.
Right. And then
climb up the ladder.
Then we get Phoenix back in the locker room. He's approached by Katrina. Katrina letting him know that she used him to pretty much make Mill stronger. Mill who feeds on death. He needed that the match that they went through, that casket match, to make himself stronger. To really.
So Mil Muertes is a Saiyan.
Maybe.
Near death account makes him just exponentially stronger.
Never know. Katrina telling Phoenix that he's just a pawn in the game of death, and then we get this really strange.
Yeah, she looks like she leans in to kiss him.
Yeah, and he stops her.
No, don't kiss me. And I'm like, dude, you insane?
The lights go out. They come back on, this eerie green lighting, and then there's 3 luchadors on top of the lockers with skull masks, and they end up dropping down onto...
Kind of really cartoony skull masks.
Yeah, very, very basic luchador masks. They drop down onto Phoenix, and we get the blackout screen, so some interesting stuff going on there. And then in our main event, we have the #1 contenders match, Hernandez taking on Alberto El Patron. This match does not last long.
No.
Hernandez is, he's on the verge of losing his #1 contender spot here until Johnny Mundo shocks everyone by turning heel, beating the crap out of Alberto El Patron, and tossing him through the window of Dario's office.
Yeah, busted him through the window. He hit him on the outside. And then he put him through the window.
And this was a match where the winner could only win by pinfall or submission.
Hence why Hernandez didn't get disqualified.
So there was no disqualification, so Alberto gets tossed back in.
Oh boy, Alberto.
And Hernandez picks up the win, and he is still #1 contender, and he will be facing Puma for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Yeah.
And
I was looking way more forward to Alberto versus Puma, but oh well.
I'm sure we'll get it eventually. And then we move on to NXT, the go-home show, to NXT Takeover Unstoppable, which will be next Wednesday, live on the WWE Network.
We're only $9.99.
Or free if you're a new subscriber.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. We open up with Baron Corbin taking on Solomon Crow.
Crow came out hard and fast.
He was
trying. And
he was getting the flurries, like he was just trying to whoop some ass.
And then he got flattened.
Yeah, he slingshotted himself right into the end of days. Baron Corbin picking up the win. Then Rhino makes his way out and says, "You're the unstoppable force that everyone keeps talking about here in NXT. So we gotta do this or what?" And then they just start throwing bows. They're just beating the shit out of each other.
They're throwing bows?
Yeah.
Bow ties?
No, Bodals. Bodals. They're throwing Bodals at each other.
I'm surprised there are more than one Bo Dallas.
I'm not. They end up getting
just Bo Dallas and then Damian Sandow dressed as Bo Dallas.
Then a clean-shaven Bray Wyatt. Chunky Bo Dallas.
You mean Husky Harris?
Husky Dallas. They end up getting pulled apart by what I assume are NXT trainees, probably.
I'm pretty sure Angelo Dawkins was one of them.
Needless to say, 2 of them got fucked up by gores.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 were like, fuck this, we're done.
Yeah, the ring cleared quick after Rhino hit the gore on the second one.
Yeah. We get Byron talking to each of the members of the Triple Threat match at Unstoppable, asking Finn, Hideo, and Tyler who they would rather face for the NXT Championship.
All 3 of them very confident they will win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought these promos happen most of the time.
Pretty much.
You don't get a lot of the times the promos where the guy's like, I got as good a chance as anybody, or like, these guys are good, I might lose. Those don't happen.
No.
Another interesting thing, though, is he asked each one of them who they would rather face for the championship.
Yes.
Zayn or Owens. And the most outspoken one, honestly, was Hideo.
Yeah, he wanted to face Owens because he's the bad man.
He's the Batman, and he has no respect for the title.
Up next, we had Sasha Banks taking on who we assume is Jessie McKay. I think we're pretty
new developmental talent.
God, so hot.
Recently signed by WWE.
Holy
WWE.com actually did an interview article with her. Cute, skinny chick from Australia.
Hot.
If this is who I think it is, I mean, close enough. If not, we can just pretend it's her.
Hot.
She is hot.
Sasha, sending words to Becky saying, "I'm the one that made you," and
she did the little Becky Lynch taunt in the middle of the match, the through the ropes taunt.
She ends up picking up the win via bank statement. Jessie McKay obviously enhanced.
Had a little offense.
Yeah, a little bit.
She tried to hit a backslide.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, she didn't get the backslide, but there's like kind of a cardinal rule that the tall person shouldn't do the backslide.
Yes.
That's a lot more work.
Yeah. Up next, we have Charlotte and Bayley throw out a challenge to Dana and Emma for a Divas Tag Team match at Unstoppable. Really fun promo between Bayley and Charlotte, just kind of playing off of each other.
Yeah, they repeatedly like step over each other.
Yeah.
And like keep interrupting one another.
And then they woo at the end.
Woo,
and this challenge was accepted by Emma and Dana, and they will be in Divas Tag Team action next Wednesday at Unstoppable.
Called it.
Then we had Carmella taking on Alexa Bliss. This match wasn't that great.
They though decided that they were going to rub it in the face of Sasha and Jessie that Alexa Bliss did the backslide.
Yeah.
Using the note
They
that
did it right.
The short person has way more leverage doing the backslide.
Alexa ends up picking up the win, hitting the Sparkle Splash after Blake and Murphy walk down, distracting Carmella. That allows Alexa to get the advantage, hit the splash, and win. Blake and Murphy get into no means no chance, telling her,
thank you guys, at full sail.
They're doing.
That was fantastic.
They're doing their usual shtick, trying to get Carmella on their side. Why are you with these 2 jokes when you could be with real men? And
if you hang out with garbage, you're gonna smell like trash.
Yes, that was the line. Thank you.
That was clever, but also I felt sort of offended. That's saying something because I don't like Carmella.
And she pulls the Cass line, saying that Cass and Enzo will be the next NXT Tag Team Champions, and after they beat them, there will be only one word to describe them, and that is SAWFT, soft. And then we had Breeze and Adam Rose taking on Itami and Finn Balor. This was an interesting tag team match.
Interesting combination.
Breeze and Rose make a really good tag team.
They worked.
A lot of dissension with Itami and Balor, though. That ended up being their undoing. They both got blind tag. Finn getting the first one.
Each other.
Finn gets a blind tag, hits Sling Blade on Rose, and then just as he's about to hit coup de grace on Breeze, that's when Itami gets the blind tag. They start arguing. He goes in to get after Breeze, and Breeze is able to roll him up into a small package and pick up the win. So, yes, and then
post-match, they start fighting. Breeze knocks Hideo into Balor, knocks Hideo out, knocks Balor out. We get a scene very much the same as last week's NXT. Breeze on top of everything. Him and Adam Rose celebrate, and then he knocks Adam Rose out.
Pull the heel card.
Yeah.
And then we get a combination.
So many people pulling up, getting Janetti this week.
I know, right? We get the combination. Sammy talking about the injury he sustained in his match against John Cena last week. It was post-match comments, talking about how he hurt it during his entrance, and then it just got worse throughout the match. But he's still going into this match. He's not backing out of the title match. Then we have the face-to-face that gets weird and awkward. Starting off with the voiceover.
Yeah. First, I also want to give mention to the second Uha is coming to NXT.
Yeah, he actually meets up with
Solomon Crow.
With Solomon Crow. They kind of have a little discussion before he goes.
Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you.
I'm excited to see Uha Nation.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see it.
I'm kind of hoping he makes an appearance at Takeover.
That'd be great.
Seems to work for a lot of people.
Yeah. We get Zayn and Owens in the ring.
Zayn doing his best WWE 2K13 voiceover.
It was bad. Pretty much they dubbed in the, hey, yeah, I hurt myself against John Cena, but that doesn't mean I'm out of this match. Then they go into what they actually recorded, and it's just Sammy yelling at Owens the whole time, trying to get an answer out of Owens, and he's not saying shit.
And then he just ups and walks away.
Yeah. And then with his back to Zayn...
he cuts a promo facing the wrong direction.
He says...
He's looking directly at the camera, so I'm hoping what it was is he was on the Tron, was looking at Sammy.
I think that might be what happened. And he just lets him know that, what happened at the last Takeover, it's going to happen again, except this time you're not coming back.
Yeah, he says Sammy's left after the first Takeover, not because he needed time to clear his head, but because he was actually injured.
Yeah.
And Sami Zayn is going to feel the wrath of the same injury, but on a much larger scale.
Yes. And that was NXT.
I feel like we're going to see a lot more of Sami Zayn getting punched in the head.
Probably. He's definitely going to go... Well, and he's probably going to go after that shoulder now that everyone knows that he was injured during that match. So, but that was it for the midweek wrap-up. We're going to finish off with some NXT Unstoppable predictions.
Predicciones.
Now that we have a full card. So let's go ahead and start off with a match that was just added in this episode of NXT. Let's talk about Rhino taking on Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Corbin on this one.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to go Corbin. I'm going to say this is going to be the first time we're going to see Corbin actually have to use some shady tactics in order to pick up the advantage. And I definitely think there's going to be a rematch.
All right. You know what? I think especially since we've seen this match happen before. They were
live.
They were test running it on the live shows. We saw it in San Jose.
WrestleMania weekend.
And Baron Corbin did pick up the win, but did get gored afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? I think
a rehearsal.
I think this is going to be probably the first the first high-profile win for Corbin moving on to a possible title picture spot. All right, let's talk about the triple threat match. Which will more than likely be just one-on-one. Reports came out last week that Hideo Itami is unfortunately out for 6 to 8 months due to an injury, a shoulder injury. He's been pulled from the WWE Japan tour that's coming up.
Pulled from the tour of his own home country.
And so, he's going to be out for most of the rest of the year.
Yeah,
so we're more than likely just going to get a one-on-one Breeze versus Balor unless they decide to put someone else in that spot.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed at the prospect of Breeze and Balor.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's still going to be a great match. it has the potential to be a better match, in my opinion.
The fact that they'll just be able to focus on each other as opposed to a third party.
Yeah, multi-man matches, the more people you add to a match, the tougher it gets to create a classic. So...
That's fair.
People get lost. There's just too much going on. You have to have a really good formula to have a good multi-person match like that. Not saying they couldn't do it, but I mean, you know, both these guys can work really well together in a one-on-one capacity. And I'm going to go with my WWE formula instincts and say that Balor is going to take this one just on the shot alone that Breeze has been on top for the last 2 weeks. Most of the time, that's leading you up to think of a false. So...
Yeah. I'm also going to go with Balor. This will also play into my prediction on the NXT title match as well. I feel like Sami Zayn is pretty much ready for the main roster, and I don't see him having another run with the title. I feel like Balor's going to be the next babyface to take on Kevin Owens. So I'm going to say Finn Balor becomes number one contender for the NXT Championship.
For the second time.
For the second time, yes. Yes, indeed. Speaking of title matches, let's talk about the tag team title match. Enzo and Cass taking on Blake and Murphy for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
I hope it's good. Enzo and Cass tend to surprise me from time to time with something fun. But they're not my favorites to watch on the roster. Cass is good. Enzo's a little iffy most of the time.
Enzo's the mic man.
Yeah, Blake and Murphy are great, though. They're very in tune with whatever's going on in the ring.
Yeah, I can see them, you know, really being able to put over Cass and Enzo and put on a really entertaining match.
Yeah, I mean, they had good, they worked really well together when we saw them live.
Yes.
You know, and it's really all about making Enzo look like $1 million. I'm going to say the champs retain.
Really?
Yep. I'm going to say they benefit from having heel tag team champions more than they will from having a babyface team.
All right. I'm going to go the opposite. I feel like just because it was kind of sudden that we saw Blake and Murphy take the titles. And I mean they've had a successful run. They've done really good making the switch from babyface to heel. But I feel like with how hot Cass and Enzo are right now, I think it only makes sense to give them the titles. Albeit it might be a short run. Because I think you are right. They do benefit from having heel tag team champions, but I feel like they're just too good not to give them a title run. So I'm gonna say Cass and Enzo take this one. And I think we've officially seen that Carmella is with Enzo and Cass. I think Blake and Murphy might have Alexa Bliss on their side after the couple little segments we've seen the three of them involved in. So I don't know. That could play out into something later, but yeah, I'm gonna say Cass and Enzo take it.
My prediction plays into the fact that I think post Takeover we're gonna see the Vaudevillains come back.
I'm okay with that. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
And speaking of tag team action, let's talk about Bayley and Charlotte taking on Dana Brooke and Emma.
This is a wild card match if there ever was one.
Definitely.
Another last minute addition to the card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has the potential to be awesome. It also has the potential to fall flat.
True.
It's always kind of iffy, like when you're bringing a new person in, and then you just throw them in with three very well-established people. I mean, you can definitely say it'd be fairly easy for the three established people to make said new person look really good.
Yeah.
But, you know, in order to do that, sometimes it means those good people have to slow down. Have to kind of take it a step back to make sure they're not going out of the comfort zone of new person.
Yeah, at the same time, I mean, you know, we talked about this when she first made her debut, is that Dana Brooke is better than what we've seen, because our first preview of Dana Brooke was in a tag team match at the San Jose show.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, she did really well in that tag team match, and she had Bayley as an opponent.
Yeah.
Bayley was teaming with Alexa Bliss, and Dana Brooke was teaming with Becky Lynch. So, I mean, obviously, very different partners.
Yeah.
But I think having, you know, that kind of a setup between the two of them, as well as two maybe even stronger wrestlers. Charlotte is much stronger than Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Emma maybe not so on the same level as Becky Lynch, but still a very solid wrestler when she gets in the ring. I think they're really going to be able to, you know, push aside the things that Dana Brooke can't do, and I think they're going to be able to make her shine with the fact that there are three very established divas in this match.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to say that the match is going to be decent at the least.
Yeah.
Don't expect show stealer.
Probably not.
I think we're going to get very classic tag team match structure from this.
I can see that.
With, you know, just a classic baby faces come on strong, then they get isolated, one of them gets worked over for a good portion of the match, then you get the hot tag in the finish.
Yeah.
So
that being said,
I'm going to go with Charlotte and Bayley because in my head, if you pull any two members of the NXT's Divas division, I feel like those two together are going to be your biggest recipe for the unstoppable force. Because they're two just like the most up there baby faces.
absolutely.
So, I mean, to me that seems to be like the unkillable duo of NXT.
All right. We're not agreeing on these tag team matches because I'm going to go with Dana and Emma. I think Dana, who has had 2 singles wins so far, Emma, who's trying out this new heel turn, I feel like this needs to be the catalyst for them to go on to bigger things as heels. And what better way than going over 2 very strong baby faces like Charlotte and Bayley. And we know that Bayley and Charlotte can take a loss, and it doesn't hurt them in the long run. So I think this is definitely going to spur into maybe a rematch on the following NXT, or maybe even split off into 2 singles matches at the next TakeOver, whenever that may be, or maybe further down the line in other NXT tapings. But I see Dana Brooke and Emma taking the win on this one. And we'll
I would have gone the other way had it been singles matches.
You think heels would win singles matches?
The heels would win singles matches. To me, the fact that it's a tag team match is what's going to undo them.
Oh.
Because...
Egos?
No, it's not going to be anything with them per se, but it's the fact that the tag team win necessarily doesn't translate into moving on to bigger and better things because there's really not a Divas tag team division.
Fair.
So here's going to be your good babyface crowd pop for the win.
All right.
It's going to be your everybody gets to be happy because Bayley and Charlotte win.
All right. We'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the last Divas action. The Divas battling out for the Women's Championship. Sasha Banks defending against Becky Lynch. I already know what he's going to say.
I can't not vote for Becky Lynch.
This is like main roster Page match. He can't vote against. This is his NXT wife.
Yeah.
He can't vote against this woman.
Yeah.
So you're obviously going Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I gotta go with B-Nox on this one. So, I mean, chances are she's not gonna win. You know, they're definitely putting Sasha over as a strong champion. So I just want it to happen. So this is where my want is going to overseed what I think will actually happen, and my vote's going with Becky Lynch.
Well,
NXT.
As much as I love Sasha Banks, I think Becky Lynch is going to take it. Just with the fact that she got this spot out of nowhere. She really took advantage of a situation. I think Sasha's ego is going to get the better of her, and that's going to play into the hand of Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is going to be able to, take her wrestling background, her athleticism, her drive, and all that. And I think this is going to be her moment. She really proved herself when we had that fatal 4-way for the championship, when Sasha won from Charlotte. And I mean, Becky Lynch has been on a really good roll since then. I mean, she's gotten a lot more notoriety. The fact that she's getting this single spot, I feel like this might be it. And I'm not going to be upset whichever way this match goes, because both women are phenomenal athletes. But I think Becky Lynch might take it.
Yeah, and from a standpoint too, Becky Lynch winning the championship does make sense, because it seems that we're having kind of a comeuppance of heels in the diva side.
Yes.
Of the roster, especially with Alexa Bliss possibly turning and siding with Team Thick. And then you have Emma and Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
And you have Sasha, all heels. I mean, even Becky Lynch, though, I mean, it's hard to come straight out and say that she's a face, because
she definitely rides that line.
She's been heel this whole time, basically, and hasn't had a definitive, actual babyface moment. So, I mean, I think what we're looking at here is two chicks who aren't going to be afraid to pull their nails out, and I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them pulling out some cheap shots here and there. Because, I feel like this is going to feel kind of like heel versus heel for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. I think, Sasha obviously has shown us that she is a top heel. She plays heel very well. But I think Becky, she's just gonna get nasty with it. She's really gonna take the fight to Sasha, and she's just gonna do whatever she feels is necessary.
One thing I will guarantee is pump handle suplex.
Hell yeah. Suplex City, bitch. And finally, our NXT Championship match. Kevin Owens defending against Sami Zayn. You know what I'm voting for.
Well, obviously, you gave us Owens already.
Yeah. Sneak preview. But who are you going with, Kevin? Are you going with Kevin?
Does Kevin go with Kevin? Or does Kevin go with the ginger?
Oh man. This is an inner conflict.
This is a hard one for me to pick. Because I'm a huge fan of both guys.
Obviously.
I'm going to go on the safe side, and I'm going to bet Owens.
Yeah.
I mean, I do agree. I think Sammy is very close, if not just right on the doorstep of being on the main roster. Especially with them bringing him up for that Raw.
Yeah.
In Montreal. And also because of the potential fact that Sammy's working through what could possibly be a somewhat serious shoulder injury.
Yes.
So, I mean, even if... I don't know. Because we've had, you know, times where the champion has multiple NXTs and doesn't wrestle.
True.
I mean, that's what Owens does on a regular basis.
It's really all dependent on how severe this injury is and whether or not it's going to keep Sammy down for multiple months. Because if he's only going to be, down for a month, maybe a month and a half, he could go through 2 sets of tapings, and then be wrestling for a couple weeks leading up to the next takeover.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to pull out. I'm going to say Sammy. I'm going to say Sammy's going to take it.
All right.
I'm going to say Sammy's going to take it just because I want us to have the most opposite scores possible.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're
4 opposites and 2 togethers or something like that.
Something like that. Maybe half and half. This may not be the full card. We may get a couple more matches added within the next week on WWE.com, through Facebook. So if
I don't see too much more getting added to a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we never know. It's WWE. They could they could make a huge change to that triple threat match.
Anything that changes what I want to see. I want to see Uha get plopped on the card.
That'd be great. I'd
have him go over on Bull Dempsey or something.
CJ Parker.
Justin Gabriel.
No. Pajama Black.
Justin Gabriel will be a double stomp for the top rope.
Oh, ouch. Oh, ow. No, let's not do that.
That's going to be should be Bull Dempsey's finish. Double stomp, top rope.
But yeah, if anything gets added, we will address it on either the Smackdown Rundown, Indie News, or next week's Raw Review, all leading up to TakeOver Unstoppable. But that is it for our predictions.
Or on Payback predictions.
That too, because that's coming up this week as well.
Yeah, it's going to be following the Smackdown Rundown in short fashion.
It'll be up on Saturday. So yeah, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Be sure to comment down in the comment section who you think is going to win at Unstoppable. Let us know what you thought about main event, what you thought about Lucha Underground. Do you agree with Kevin? Is it getting too cartoony in Lucha Underground? What's going on there? Is it worrying you? Because it's worrying him. He's scared.
Triple threat match. Will it be a triple threat match? Do they get the Hide go, or will it be a Hide no?
Be sure to check the description for all the links to our Twitters, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, Reddit, and email. All that stuff where you can follow us, you can talk to us, we can discuss wrestling, because that's what this show is all about.
Wait. We discuss wrestling on this show?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I know.
I'm just here for the free toast.
There's free toast?
Yeah.
Fuck. Thanks for watching the midweek wrap-up. Should check the playlist. We got a Raw review over there. And up next, we're going to be having the Smackdown Rundown, followed by the Payback predictions, and then followed by the Indie News coming this Monday.
Like this video a lot if you want to see us do a review of Tough Enough videos.
Oh,
Tough Enough video submissions.
Please.
Click like.
Like it a lot. Share it with your friends.
Share it on Facebook.
Facebook. Twitter.
Post a link to what Tough Enough videos you think we should critique in the comments.
There you go.
Cody, that's a job for you to do.
Yeah.
I know you're watching this.
Do it, Cody. Pat, yes. Tony Toxin. And no, if it has Eve Marie in it, we're not doing that. Bullshit.
She's not tough enough.
Ah!
She's hot, though.
That's right. We'll see you guys at SmackDown.
Smackdown Rundown. Double pets flip. Didn't catch either one of them.